Well, hey, this is Rosa RCG Creations. How are you doing? I'm bringing you today a happy card. And it is made with this, who makes this? Craft Consortium. And this one's called Over the Hedge. It's by Melissa Lowry. These are clear stamps. Aren't those cute? The little hedgehogs with some little flowers, mushrooms, and a little message that says, enjoy the little things. But what I did is, I'm going to show you something, but first what I'm going to do is I'm embossing, and I'm using this clear stamp set from Ranger. It's called Letterette Clear Stamps. This one's called Birthday Designs by Taylor Zaninga. There's the information on it. I'm move this kind of slow so you can see and not see any glare. Unfortunately, my light is right above the camera, and so you get glare. But there is all the lettering and the words in this one. Isn't that great? I love the little font because it's something different, and I love the size of all the letters. But what I've done here is I'm using my Stamparatus. And let me get my ink. I'm using my Stampin' Up! Real Red stamping ink pad. And then I've already done one other card. I'm going to do another one, and I'll show you in just a minute both of these cards. Sometimes, let me bring this over so I can get into frame here. Sometimes when you get these clear stamps, it doesn't ink very well. What you have to do is condition them. That doesn't always work with all of them. It just varies, and it doesn't matter if it's a name brand quality one or if it's the cheap knockoff brand kind. Sometimes you just never know, because I've done it with several of these stamps, and sometimes it does it that way, and sometimes it doesn't. But all you do is you get the clear stamp and you condition it. And conditioning it means, let me just open this up and show you, is you just rub your finger, thumb, whatever, over it. And what you're doing is you're getting the oils and the particles from the manufacturing off of there. Or you can get a soft, like an emery board, and sand over that. Then you wipe it clean with a little wipey or a wet towel. And that wipes it, cleans it, and takes off any additional residue off of there. Then you ink it. But the one good, here's another reason why a stamping tool is really good. Because especially if these are brand new, here I am, I'm going to talk and stamp at the same time. You never really know, okay? And I have ruined many a project because I use my regular acrylic blocks, which I still have and I still use, but only with stamps that are seasoned and I know they stamp really well. These new ones, I always use my stamping tool, and I'm using the Stampin' Up! Stamparatus for the simple reason of I don't know if it's going to stamp the first time or not. And I just like to close it just because I tend to have accidents. And as you can see here, let me bring this up. It's not totally stamped. It's not. I know it's not going to get a good impression, but I'm going to show you something. Okay. And let me backtrack because I don't think I'm in frame as well as I want to be. Let me move this out of the way, move this out of the way, get this more in the center. And then you just push down on it. Now keep in mind that when you have your little magnets, because of the thickness of the magnets, it does keep you from getting full impression. So sometimes you have to really press down on the area where you have your magnets. Okay? And then I like to use a little tool that I have here. Oops. Okay, and as you can see, it stamped it, but it's not really crisp and clear like we all like. Okay, so we could just stamp it again, and it's going to be in the exact same spot as it was before because the magnets held it in place. That's why I always like to do that. Or you can always use your, let me show you. This is Pixie Spray that you normally would put on a stencil, but you could also put a very little bit amount on the back of this, but I wouldn't recommend doing too much because the back of the card would then be all sticky. So Pixie Spray is mainly meant for stencils because you just wipe down or wash it in the sink hot water, the stencil, and it takes off the residue. So you can do that, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. But I just wanted to FYI you if you just want to do a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to restamp this again. And as you can see, the whole thing is inking a lot better. Let me get back. I want to move this over here. And then you'll be able to see it, and I hope the video shows it. I really don't know yet. But you'll be able to see where the inking got so much better the second time around. And let's stamp this again. Put your pressure on here close to the magnets so we make sure that it all gets inked pretty darn good. Okay. Get my little stamping tool this is actually my little scraper for my Cricut. And ta-da! See how it's so much better? And if you didn't have a stamping tool, you would be off-centered. Okay? I do like it, but I see a few letters here, like on the B and the A, that I just want to be a little bit crisper. So, because I can, I'm going to do this again. Okay? And when you're doing big ones like this, it's always good to remove your ink pad. So, not just the center gets worn out, but move it around, because sometimes different parts of the ink have more ink than the other one. So, move your ink pad around. And on something like this, a big project like this, it's not going to hurt anything and what I'm doing is I'm putting more pressure on the edges of it, so it'll get more ink on the letters. Okay. Close it up. And then restamp it again. And I knew I was the B, the part of the L was celebrate, and part of the B that needed to get inked a little bit on the middle of it's your, and then the birthday. And add some pressure. Okay, let me get my little spatula here. This is my Cricut spatula that I use for my Cricut, but I love to use it because it sits right here on my desk. And then look at that. See how much bolder the color is there? Isn't that wonderful? So let me take this off. And remember, don't touch the magnets because they can break on you. And then I have this coated, for those who don't know, haven't seen my other videos. This is just paper that I use. It's the Stampin' Up paper. It's a grid mark paper that you use for your projects. I use my craft mat. So I don't use these, but I have a whole pad of them. And I just laminated it just so I have it. And these are just little marks that I made on another project. Unfortunately, I used a Sharpie because that's all I had at the time. And you can get some 90 or above % alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and it'll come right off with a little paper towel. I just haven't done it yet. Okay, but look, I'm going to show you. Let me put my magnets back here and back here. And I want to get this out of the way because I don't want to clean this up till later. Okay, or say you have another project you want to do, and then it comes down here. Look, it gets on here, but that's okay. You know why? This is a little wipey. Look. And it just wipes right clean because of the laminate that was on there. Okay. And there you go. And then you can always just wipe the excess because I'm done. And red does tend to stain your stamps because of the ink pigment. So I try not to leave ink on my clear stamps very long. Okay, and I'll show you in just a minute, but I'm not going to do that yet. Because you can still see there's some red on it, but that's okay because I'm going to show you in just a second. In fact, let me show you right now. Let me get my... Bear with me, I'm going to get my stamp cleaner. I have one... I have all these little spray bottles that are on my desk here. I have one for water. And I have one, I just used a Sharpie on it. It says clear stamp cleaner, so stamp cleaner. And then this is this one's just 70% alcohol, and I have another one for 90, but that's in my little craft bag. That I went to a crop that I host once a month, and I was there, and it's in that bag, but that's okay. Now, this is my stamping. Everybody really should have a stamping cleaner, because you definitely always need to really clean your stamps. My particular one, this is from Stampin' Up, and this is many, many, many years old. It's way over 15 years old that I know of. There's little raindrops right here, so you spray on the wet side, and here's a little sun. You clean on the dry side. So what you do is I'm going to get my little sprayer. Oops. I'm going to take off my top, and then I am going to scrub it. And you see how the scrubbing got all the little red felt from my wipey? Because that's what the cleaner does. And ta-da! Now there's still a little bit of speckles on there, but I'm going to show you in just a second. Because you see some speckles here and here and here and here. That's okay. Because what you want to do is when all the ink has come off, then you take it over to the dry side and you do it again and you scrub it. And what it does is the scrubbing pad, this would work a lot better if it was smaller, but I'm going to show you in just a minute how to do it the other way. See how it does? It removed all the little red speckles and anything in the little grooves. Okay? But right here, I'm going to show you this one. Hopefully you can see that. See right in here? Let me get something. Let me get something wide, different color. See right in here? There's some red right here, some red ink that's still there. Okay? But otherwise, it's pretty much clean. I'm just going to pick it up, and then I'm just going to clean it on my scrubber, and look, it's all nice and clean. I hope that shows in the video. And then just since I already have it out, this is another way you can do it. You could just take it and then clean your stamps. But if it's a small one, do yourself a favor, just use your acrylic block and use that to clean your stamp. Okay, so there's that one. Oh, duh. I missed it because it's sitting on my glass tabletop, and I was like, where did it go? It's a clear block, clear acrylic lid, a clear acrylic lid on a glass table. So I was like, I lost my stuff. I just did it. Okay, and then there it is. It's nice and clean. Then you go over here to the other dry part, the dry area, and then you just scrape it. And if it's really, really dirty, you can sit there and you can actually just scrub and scrub and scrub it, and it comes right off. And the little bristles get all inside the little grooves, and it cleans everything out for you. And so let's just go ahead and do the last one since I'm here, because I'll be done with this card and this clear stamps when I'm done tonight with this one here. And then there we go. There's nothing there. You can always pick it up and then look at it through the light, and you'll be able to see if there's any ink still on there. And then you do here, you just close this, and that's done. Here's your acrylic block. I used to just get a wipey, and I just spray a little of the cleaner on my acrylic lid. This Stamparatus comes with 2 of them. And then that takes off any additional residue or anything else, and then that's clean. And then close it down, and then that's set, and I'm good to go. And I can just put it away. I keep mine in a little 3-tier tray here, but we'll put those back in a minute. I don't want my video to be too long, so. Here is the words, celebrate, it's your birthday. And then here is the front of the card. Isn't that the cute? These are these little hedgehogs that's in that set. And I wanted to show you what I did is I used my Stamparatus again. I stamped it on here on the front of the card first. Then I stamped it again on some old scrap paper, and actually this is sticky paper. Okay, and then you fussy cut all the way around it. Or if you have a die, use your dies if you have dies. Or if you do this on the Cricut, you could do it on your Cricut or any other cutting tool you may have, Silhouette, whatever it is that you may have, and do it from there. Then you just fussy cut this, and then what you do is once you've stamped it, because this has got adhesive on the back of it, and you don't need it all over the whole place, you just need it on an area that you know is not going to come off. And this is called masking. You lay it on top of your masking. Okay, you're masking the bottom half is what you're doing. Okay, so here's the original. And you can do it before or after your color, it's totally up to you. Okay, and then you get your other stamp, like on this one, the little flowers, and then you stamp on top of it, because as you can see right here, you can see where I made this long stem stamp, the flower right here. And because I masked it, the only thing shows is what's not on this mask itself. Okay, so it looks very natural, and then you just carefully pick it up, because this is I actually used my ATG gun, and then don't throw this away because you can use it again. So put this on the back of your stamp set, or the front, wherever you want to do it, doesn't really matter. You could even put it on the back of this, and that'll work too. So you can just actually put it on the back of that one. And I'm just taking it easy because I want to make sure nothing comes off, because this is just cardboard and I don't want to ruin this. Okay, that one I can't do because it's backwards, but that's okay because I'm going to leave it right here. Then I'm going to put it in my protective sheet that this came from. So this will always be right here, and because I can see that masking, I already know I've got a mask, but you can do a mask on anything. You can even mask the lettering. You would just fussy cut it all the way around it, the same shape. And what I do is I would get my paper. Let me get my paper and I'm going to show you. I have some scrap paper here. Let me get my pencil. I like to use pencil just because. Just because. And then I'm just going to trace around the shape of the stamp. Okay, there it is. And then you just fussy cut all the way around it, and then you just created yourself a mask. And that's how that is done. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. And here are the finished projects. This is one with the two little hedgehogs. And then, like, isn't this cute? This one looks like it's smelling the flower. But look at how I'm going to get up close to you. Hopefully I can get it in focus. And I'm going to make sure there's no glare. But see how that looks like the little hedgehog is sniffing that little flower. And I did that on purpose. That was the reason why I did a lot of my masking. And then I used my glossy accents on the white daisies to give them a little bit of shine and shimmer. And then this is a Distress Oxide ink that I use with my water brush instead of using markers. I just wanted to try something different instead of using markers. And then that's how I colored the little hedgehogs. And then here is the same thing, but this one was just the one hedgehog. I didn't want to do a bunch of little flowers. I kind of wanted, you know, I wanted two different looks. And as you can see, I got the two different looks. And then the message is exactly the same on both of the cards. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, definitely put them in the comment section. Don't forget to hit like and share and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And we thank you so very much, and you have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.